Marc Wachsberger is MD of The Capital, and he's been converting residential apartments into short-term rentals that compete with the hotel industry on price. And he's with us now in the studio. It sounds simple, Marc. Apparently you had a simple idea or a simple perception from which many entrepreneurial projects come. You thought hotel rooms, why are they so expensive? And how did that question lead you into what you're doing?
So in 2008, when we founded, at that time it was called Hydro Executive Apartments, which we rebranded now, the market was such that hotels were 2,000 Rand a night for an equivalent hotel that you could get a 4-star apartment that would be 10,000 Rand a month. So why was it 5 times more expensive was a question we asked ourselves. I came from the finance industry and corporate finance, and taking that accounting view to hotels, we said, why was it so expensive? And we didn't overly care at that time, rather we just rented low, sublet high. And we rented residential apartments, we furnished them all the same, and then we sublet them to essentially compete with the hotel market. And we've subsequently grown our business, and throughout this growth period, we've continued to ask ourselves, what is fundamentally behind why are hotels so expensive? And we've come up with a couple of solutions. The first is that there's a ROE model in the hotel business. And the ROE model is return on ego.
Okay.
And many of the big players in the market build very fancy hotels. There's a disconnect between property ownership and management companies in the hotel sector. In general, there are a lot of owner-operators such as ourselves, but in general, property owners, they buy or build a grand hotel that costs an absolute fortune. They then insert a management company to go and manage it for them, and there's an absolute disconnect.
It's huge costs that you're piling up there.
Huge costs. Property is obviously the most expensive part of the hotel, so the higher the property cost, the higher you have to push your rates per night, and that's where most hotel groups are getting stuck.
Marc, let me get in there. You said return on egos, but say for example it's like 5,000 Rand a night, one would assume you get what you pay for. So with you converting these residential properties into hotels or for letting, what are you getting?
So 2,000 Rand a night, I would say a comparative hotel room. For us, you're getting it at maybe 1,300, 1,400 Rand per night. We have corporate rates that compete heavily in the market. And what you're getting is a full apartment. So you're getting all of the benefits of a hotel. You still have room service, you still have a restaurant, you still have a gym, you still have all these grand facilities, but what you don't have is the price, and you have a lot more space. And the way we're able to do it to continue is that we're an owner-operator. So we take away that disconnect. We're not about ego, we're about satisfying corporate budgets. And we work backwards from there. We cut out a layer of frills. This is the other problem in the hotel business today, is that with the disconnect between the management company and the hotel owner, management companies are incentivized to have the best of the best. They need to protect their brand. So they have a lot of staff, they have porters at the door, and we cut a layer of that frills out. We still have porters at the door, but we will maybe only have one. The business traveller today is happy to be self-sufficient.
So are you actually doing it the other way around? They build a hotel, they come up with the vision, they probably get an international chain. You're saying, here's a building with some nice flats, apartments in it. Let's bolt on some of the hotel services. That's the way around.
Absolutely.
But the question is, think of city lodges and these Formula One things at the airport and in industrial areas. I mean, these are rock bottom prices. It's a bed, it's a coffee machine, and they worked out that's what the guy needs. He's out all day doing his business. He needs to sleep before he catches the plane in the morning. Are you competing with those guys as well?
We're not in that node, but we think very highly of City Lodge. They're an owner-operator, so that disconnect is not apparent with them. And they understand no frills as well. And so their rates are appropriately low. We're now in Sandton. We have 6 properties in Sandton, the 7th under construction in Rosebank, with growth into Cape Town, Pretoria. And in those nodes, we're finding that there are owner-operators in a very limited form. Where there are some city lodges and the like, and they're satisfying those needs, but they're at a say 3-star level where we're maybe at a 4-star level.
What's the uptake been like? Because you said you are in Sandton and you are competing with the likes of City Lodge, and where else are you expanding to?
So we're the #1 ranked performer on occupancy by STR Global Hotel Benchmark surveys. Our property is actually number 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 in the Sandton node. And so the uptake's been fantastic. We're incredibly happy with the performance.
Give some numbers. How many people are using your places at the moment?
We have 450 units in Sandton, and we run at occupancies in excess of 83% at rates that are lower, quite frankly. But they're not. They're a great saving for the customer. But at the end of the day, we're still getting our rate. We're still satisfied. We cut out that layer of cost, and we're happy as well.
Oh, thank you so much for that. That was Marc Wachsberger. He's the Managing Director of The Capital.